This is Michael Waddington here with the Military Law News Network, and today I'm joined by Tim Bilecki, and we're going to be discussing the Robert Kraft case. If you don't know the background, he's the owner of the New England Patriots that was accused of receiving sexual acts in a massage parlor in Florida on 2 separate occasions. Tim, the news just recently reported that the judge has suppressed the videotapes, the evidence of him allegedly in the massage parlor, which dealt a devastating blow to the prosecution's case. At the same time, the 2 women that were the ones giving the supposed massages and sex acts are refusing to testify. They're pleading the fifth and invoking. How do you see this playing out in the future for the prosecution if the 2 witnesses won't testify? Obviously, Kraft did not make a statement. He's not going to testify. And the judge suppressed the videotape evidence.
Well, Mike, I've got a lot of strong feelings on this. First off, this wouldn't be international news, or at least national news, if it wasn't for Robert Kraft. This is absurd, the fact that this makes CNN and makes Fox News and makes MSNBC, and it was a headline for a while. And then they started saying, oh, there's all of this human trafficking that's involved in this, when the fact of there was never any evidence of that. So this got spun out of proportion by the fake news and making it something it really wasn't. The second is the prosecution's in trouble, because the 2 witnesses who allegedly did the sex acts, it looks like they're refusing to testify. And now they were going to use the video surveillance. And the judge made what I believe to be the right call, and is going to suppress it, saying that an individual has a reasonable expectation of privacy. And I'm watching some of the media that came out, and everyone's up in arms. Oh, if it wasn't Robert Kraft, this should come out. This is only coming to his favor because he's a billionaire. But let's break it down. When you go to a massage parlor, right, or you go to get a massage, let's say you're staying at the Four Seasons, you're staying at the Marriott, and you go down to get a massage, and you take off your clothes and you go on the table and you get a massage. Don't you have an expectation of privacy? I mean, don't you have some expectation that that your video from the locker room or your video from the inside the massage parlor isn't going to end up on Facebook, or isn't going to end up on Instagram, or isn't going to end up on the news? No matter what happens inside there, shouldn't you have a reasonable expectation of privacy?
And Tim, that's the interesting thing. The judge suppressed it based on the expectation of privacy, but it goes deeper than that. Both Kraft and these 2 women are all being suspected of crimes. And if these women were being human trafficked, as they're alleging, these women could be just women that are here getting paid $100 to give massages and handjobs. If that's what happened, I don't know, I wasn't there. But the police went inside of this massage parlor and various other ones with a shady warrant, with a search warrant and a search authorization, and installed cameras. So under their theory, these women are being human trafficked and exploited. So then they film the women being human trafficked and exploited, which is unconscionable if you actually believe that, over the course of months with hundreds of alleged patrons. And why are they filming all these people taking advantage of these women? That's like saying we're going to put a camera in a room where children are being raped. We believe they're children, they're being raped by some strangers. So we're going to put a camera in the room and let them rape these children for the next 6 months. And we're just going to film all this and then go in and then arrest the people. I've never heard of such a case happening. And that goes to show to me that these were not people that were part of a human trafficking ring, but rather adults providing these services to other adults for money. And the police went in and got a fake warrant, or a bogus warrant, to film it. And to make headlines is what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and here's what I like about Robert Kraft in this case, right? Because a lot of people have just taken a guilty plea, pled guilty, got a slap on the wrist, and admitted guilt and took a guilty plea. And we see this it doesn't have to be Robert Kraft or a billionaire. You see this all the time with our clients, or people that come to us. They get offered these guilty pleas for crimes they didn't commit, or where the evidence necessarily won't shore up a conviction, but they do it anyways because it's the path of least resistance. What I like is that Robert Kraft got an amazing set of attorneys, and they're actually filing motions, and they're pushing back on it, saying, no, when you go into a massage parlor, you've got a reasonable expectation of privacy. No different than, I don't care if it is the Happy Joy massage parlor, if it's the Patty Thai massage parlor, or if you're doing a massage at the Four Seasons Hotel. If you go to get a massage, let's say you're staying at the Four Seasons, spending $700, $800 a night, and you go and you disrobe and you get a massage, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy in that situation. And the law doesn't look at what happened there. It's what did you have a reasonable expectation of privacy of? All of that to say, this case is going to fall apart, Mike. I don't think this case is going to go anywhere. They probably got their top prosecutors on it when normally they'd have very low-level prosecutors. I think the case is going to fall apart. I think this was an embarrassment for Robert Kraft for being in a position he probably shouldn't have been in to begin with. But he fought the case, he fought the charges, and he wasn't going to get railroaded by the system here. And I think that's a lesson that can be learned to our particular clients or our folks in the military who are facing charges, whether they're not so serious, whether they're very serious, that you don't take it, just don't take it and stand up and fight. Because if you fight and don't just take the first plea that comes along, you can prevail. And that looks like what's going to happen here.
The prosecution is scrambling now. They tried to get the two women that were involved, and the women went and they invoked and they lawyered up. And I'm not sure if they're going to try to give them immunity, but I would bet you that they could give them whatever they want, and those women will not be testifying in court. So this is an example of government overreaching. I mean, think about this. Any place you go, let's say you're at the YMCA and you're talking with your buddies at the YMCA and you're naked in the shower in the spa or wherever, they can't just put cameras in various places hoping that they're going to try to get you for something that is a very low-level crime, frankly. If they know these people are trafficking women and these were people that were sex slaves, which no evidence has come out to show, then they should have busted the people that were trafficking them and build their case that way. But busting the guys at the bottom of the chain, it was all a publicity grab. That's all it was.
Yeah, agreed. It's a publicity grab. It's government overreach, and they just happen to get Robert Kraft in their net, so now they can say they made the big score. But again, it's just massive government overreach. In a case like this, if this was allowed to go forward, you hit the nail right on the head. You go to the YMCA to go work out or hit the gym over there, and now they've got cameras installed in doing surveillance. And what if you say something there that they try to use against you at a later date? I mean, you have a right to privacy when you're in the locker room getting changed or changing over to go hit the gym. I mean, you absolutely do.
And even more so inside of a room with two adults. And in a private room, like when I go to Massage Envy, I don't think I'm being recorded and I'm going to be entrapped by the police who might just listen in on what I talk about, you know, anything. It's a step too far. And I'm actually happy that this case got shut down, because if it wasn't shut down, then it was going to be a slippery slope.
Yeah, so good on Robert Kraft and hiring a good defense team. He certainly got the mind to do it, but good on him for taking that risk and fighting this thing, because he had every right to fight it, and it looks like this is going to be the right result here.